whatever. I'm laughing at my drawing. Don't judge me. All right, look. Today we're going to talk through what I think is like, I won't say the perfect real estate investor journey, but I want to talk through how things stack and how things scale and how things grow very quickly for you so you understand. So a lot of people get worried or bothered because it's not fast at the beginning, right? Because it's like an exponential thing. It takes time to get off the ground. It's like an airplane, right? It takes time to get down the runway to take off, and then it takes off. So I want to kind of talk you through that first couple of years and how this could look depending on your scenario. So what we're gonna do is the first thing I wrote down here is a duplex, right? So we're gonna assume that this is a house hack, right? So we've got a tenant and we've got, don't judge my handwriting, but me. That's an E. It is what it is, right? And so let's say that you would have been spending, and I'm just making numbers up to try to make this work. So we're gonna use an affordable market. Let's say you would have been spending $600 a month to live in an apartment complex. And you go ahead and you buy a duplex and you rent out one side for $600, and then you live in the other side, and your total costs for ownership, including vacancy and everything, are like $900. So now you're saving $300 a month, right? Because the other tenant is paying $600, all of your expenses are $900, you're saving $300 a month that you would have been spending on rent anyway, right? So that's the key here. You would have been spending this money on rent. So there's your $300, right? That's what you're saving. It's not cash flowing right now, but if and when you move out and you rent the other side for $600, then it'll be cash flowing $300, right? So now it might have taken you, so here's a couple benefits, right? By doing this, you get to use a primary residence mortgage. So you could use a VA loan for 0 down, or an FHA loan for 3.5% down, or you do a conventional for 5% down, right? That's a lot lower than 20%, so you don't have to have a huge amount of cash, and then you have good cash reserves, you're good, right? So low barrier to entry to get into this property, and it starts making you $300 a month. So now you're thinking, well, shoot, if I have to save up $20,000 for my next property, and we're gonna assume you have no other income. Now I know that's not realistic, but that $300 a month is all you can save, right? Nothing else. So in order for you to save $20,000, that's gonna take you, I don't know, 70 months, right? Like 5 or 6 years. Now that sucks. So I really don't want to like use that example because that's not realistic, because most of you are going to be able to buy your second house much faster than that. But for sake of argument, let's say it's going to take you 6 years off that $300 to save up for the next purchase, right? So then now you go and you buy house number 2, and house number 2 is just a little single family rental. And house number 2 brings in an additional, after all expenses, we're just gonna keep numbers easy, $300 a month. Well, now it's gonna take you, with just saving that money, 3 years to get to house number 3, because you've just cut your time in half by doubling the amount of money you're saving, right? So when you get to house number 3, we're gonna say that's making you $300 a month. Now you're making $900 a month. Now it's gonna take you less than 2 years, 21 months to save up enough money for that next $20,000 down payment. And so this kind of goes on and on. So we got another 300. You know, at this point you're making $1,500 a month off your rentals, which means that you can save for that down payment in, math in public, 15 months, 14 months, I don't know. And so now it's every year and a half, you can buy a house. But if you really wanted to make this exponential and speed this curve up, what you would do is a year after you bought this one, you would move into another duplex, right? So then this one would be cash flowing you $300 a month. The other duplex would be saving you $300 a month. So that's the $600 a month. And you could do it in essentially 1 year and a day, where you buy the second duplex and you don't have to have the huge down payment because it's another primary residence. So you can do the 5% down, or the, we're gonna have to pause that for a second, I suppose. I mean, we don't have to pause it, but I am in the middle of perfection.
Oh, you are?
What's up?
I was just trying to figure out when we were meeting for lunch. I'm getting hungry.
All right, we're gonna finish this video and we'll head that way. So 1:15.
1:15?
Big Whiskeys.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll see you there.
Downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, I got right.
Bye. So if you buy that duplex and you move into the second one with the low down payment for another primary mortgage residence, then you're at this point a year and a day later, right? And then it's gonna take you 3 years to save up for this one. And this is assuming you have no extra income. You don't get a raise, you don't cut your expenses, you have nothing additional to what you would have been paying to live in this house, which is not realistic. Most people are gonna have $500 a month they could save or whatever that may look like. And so all I wanted to show you here is that for that first purchase, it might take you a year, 2 years, 3 years to save up. And here's the real example. I bought my first property in 2015. It was two months shy, no, sorry, 2 years and 2 months later that I bought property number 2. So it took me over 2 years to save up for property number 2. Then it was like a year and a half for property number 3. Then it scaled very quickly. It's March 24th and we've done 11 transactions so far this year with a 12th one under contract. So things scale very quickly. And all it is just making sure that you save whatever that amount of cash is every time. You're not dipping into it and you're reinvesting that plus whatever you're able to save. So I wish I'd thought of a better drawing to illustrate this, but I hope it helps. I want some of you to just understand that, it's like buying real estate doesn't necessarily start off fast, but it scales and it grows and you get that traction and you can stack and you can build speed and it improves. And then you get to a point where one day you're like, holy crap, I can't find enough deals, right? It's a good spot to be in. So hope this helps with that mentality. And if you got questions about how to scale this up a little bit, as always, hit me up on Instagram or throw it in the comments here. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.